Hey folks, Lemonade here. Hope you're all doing well. Today we have the PureTrak CL1 series with the updated temple design. Let's get into it. So let's get the specs out of the way. So the pad itself comes in 482 by 406 by 6 millimeters thick. So it's a thick boy. This particular design only comes in this size. Later on when I show you the website, you'll see there's a couple other designs that are in desk pad size, but well, anyway, I'll talk about it then when we get to it. The pad itself is, again, made in the US of A. So if you haven't seen any of my PureTrak videos, all of their mouse pads are made in the United States. Again, not a deal breaker if a mouse pad isn't, but it's great to see companies producing products in the United States. There are very few left, and it's really cool to see mouse pads of this quality, great price point, and on top of that being made in the United States. The surface itself has a no coating. This is just a pure cloth kind of hybrid surface, but really a cloth pad. Uniform X and Y. Very smooth surface, very soft, comfortable, with a bit more give than the MF2 because of that thickness, but it's stiff. It's not a necessarily spongy or squishy pad, even though it's 6 millimeters thick. So don't sit here and think this is going to be like Artisan X Soft style. It's still kind of a stiff inner core. Great balance of static and dynamic friction, but a little bit more speed than most cloth pads that you would assume. Okay, so I have the Lethal Gaming Gear Venus here, you can all see, and it's got the speed of the Venus. I mean, realistically, these are super glides, by the way, but I'll just show you here. So it's got a pretty good glide characteristic, very similar to the Venus. I'll show you on 4 corner feet, much faster as per usual. Very, very similar. And then I'll show you on the kind of 2 feet design. A little bit more stopping power there. But again, very, very similar glide characteristics. Even just the kind of static friction, very, very similar just across the board. Dynamic friction, very similar to the Venus, but it actually feels a bit closer to the Jupiter. It's not quite as soft. I mean, well, let me take that back. Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's really just as smooth, kind of silky smooth as the Jupiter, but it has the speed of the Venus. So it's a really interesting combination of surface here. I mean, the Jupiter has the most stopping power of the Lethal Gaming Gear family. So it's just kind of interesting how PureTrak got that kind of soft, smooth surface, but still the speed of something like a Venus. So just for comparison's sake, I know those are pretty popular pads that people may have. Stitch edging, there is none. This is just stock. You can see it there. No stitched edging. No problems yet. I do use an arm sleeve at the same time. Something to keep an eye out for, because there are little spots throughout on the edges here that have very, very, very little kind of fraying. So, I mean, it could happen, but I haven't. The first day I used it without a sleeve. I've used it ever since with a sleeve. I haven't had any issues. I don't have a huge cause for concern with it, but again, it's always something to look out for a non-stitched edge. Base is standard, holds up really well, probably because it's thicker. That's 6 millimeters. I mean, it's more dense, so it just doesn't move at all. It kind of sitting there like a rock, so no issues with the base. Performance in game. I recommend this really for every shooter out there. I've done well in Apex, arenas, in Battlefield. It's a slower glide on the glass speed, as you saw, a little bit faster on large PTFE. I mean, again, we'll do that once more. There's your glass, larger PTFE. I mean, if that wasn't in the way, it'd go to the edge. So again, I'd say glass are probably a little bit, probably the slowest. These are broken in, several months old. PTFE here, this is a couple weeks old and a couple weeks old again. So your fastest glide is going to be on a 4-corner kind of PTFE feet like this. Design. Let's get into the design of some of the other options that you have for this pad. All right, the CL1 series. So the new designs here are the CL1 Temple. Open that to the side, and then the CL1 Talent V2 kind of has a new pattern here. And then the Phoenix SE and the Turbulence were kind of their older designs for this particular series. They originally started with a Talent, and then they had some other kind of older designs that you can still buy in these desk pad sizes. But I can't attest. I mean, the sizing is a little bit different on these, and I can't attest to the surface being the same. So just take that for what it's worth. But you do have, at least in these design options, which I think are far, far better, some great looking designs, and they're all going to feel the same. As you can see here, 482 by 406 by 6 millimeters, and that off PureTrak sizing that's a little bit off standard. And this is their fastest pad in their lineup. MF2 is a little bit slower, and then the MF1 is quite a bit slower than the CL1 itself. Overall, I really recommend this pad. I think it's just an all-around great pad. Awesome choice of designs. I really wouldn't worry about the stitch edging. Feels pretty comfortable. Great price point at $25.99. I do want to add, there's a lot of companies, and I'll mention Lethal Gaming Gear in this case. I have reviews coming for their products soon. They're great products, but in this day and age, there's a lot of great pads out there in terms of surface feel and quality and QC. Really, I love to see designs. And for example, PureTrak, I think they worked with their in-house designer on this. I just want to see companies like Lethal Gaming Gear and others, Artisan being another one, put some designs on the pads. It really adds a lot of flavor. I'm not saying you have to omit black and white. That's fine, but spice it up a little bit and add a little flair, because this stuff just looks absolutely fantastic in person. I mean, just the glow and the shimmer, and just beautiful work. I mean, it looks even better when the light's hitting it like that. All my socials are down below, and in there you will see an affiliate link and a discount code for PureTrak. You can get 10% off of this pad or any of the products that they sell on their website. I did buy this and all the products from PureTrak with my own money. Anyway, on that note, if you had a good time with me today, likes and subs are always appreciated. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. But until the next Fresh Squeeze video, stay thirsty, folks.